Hello, I'm going to do something I've never done before. I'm going to try to code while recording myself. So this is a project I kind of got started with a little bit of help at 70 video long tutorial. Just a good starter project. I've added some stuff. The goal today is to start the framework for a radio button. So we're just going to focus on this part and figure out how we can set this up and try to handle checked. There's going to be some complications going on. I would have to actually start working on a actual project to actually test how to. I guess you don't really. You just only get to check one, so may not have to start an actual big project to test this out, but we're going to see if we can create just this type of input element with a type radio. So I want to go back to the home page. This is kind of like my sandbox page. So I go over here. So we want to have this set up where the radio button's to the left, because if you want to have a group, the label can be of varying lengths. So we are going to go use this where is it? Label right. So what is a main difference between a checkbox and a radio is that you have the names are same across everything in the group, and this allows you to form a group. So the 4 is going to be different. The 4 will be the same as the value. So we need to remember that. So let's just begin with copying this and pasting it, and then let's call, we don't need, let's see here, radio input. Since we're not going to have surrounding divs, this is going to be part of a group, we're going to get rid of the divs setup. So what's going on here is you have the div attributes, and it's going to fill out all the classes for this. Input attributes go for the actual input. It turns into input string, and you can add things like classes, and other types of styling, other restrictions, or things you want to set as part of an associate array. So we want to get rid of div attributes, get rid of div string, get rid of that. We can actually get rid of all this other stuff, and what we can do is we're going to just return. So let's go back and let's see if we can just go, the 4 field will be the same as value. All right. So now we have in our lower panel this right here. But what we can do is I have an example function call. Just put this, paste this below. Let's start with our PHP escape. I'm not sure what it's called, but you kind of one-liner escape into PHP. And let's just use post. Let's call this example. Example, it's not a colon. Example, then post, and we're going to get the key. So example will be the key in our post array. So we have example. I believe it's label, name, value. This is the check, and this is your input attributes. Refresh. So we now have an example. So let's see here. So let's see here. Example, name, value is okay. So type radio. Oh wait. We need to fix something here. What we can do is single quotes, dot dot, that's your concatenator operator. No, wait, you don't need that. Radio. We need to actually change the name, so radio input. It's going to say, oh, it didn't do a bad token on me. Sometimes when you make a modification to the page, so we have CSFR check, and sometimes when you mess with the form, you'll get a warning says you're in a restricted domain because of this CSFR token check right here. So if you go to the original video and change the value for that, log in, token is corrupted. Alright, so that's good. So we have type. We need to check our work now. So we got type is radio. ID will be example. We don't have a name. Name is okay. ID we might have something different. Name will be the same throughout all these. So let's say ID label. We need to be able to tell the difference. So test. And then ID will be ID. All right. Let's just call it example 1 and example 2. No, wait. 1. I don't know the value. Well, we'll figure that out later if I don't give up. So copy. Example 2. Example 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 value. Example 1. Example 2. Yeah, we will. We need to grab that. Okay. We'll go back to here. Let's do that. Actually, it's looking pretty good. So let's proofread our work. So we got type radio, ID. Let's see here. I want to do test. So, okay, so it's radio and radio. The label is below, so you got that. Let's see, so ID. We want the IDs to be unique, so test 1 and 2. We'll go back. All right. There it goes. So IDs are unique. So test 1 and test 2. The name has to be the same. This is why you need a test. So name is the third. Yeah, the third one. Example, or let's call it demo. Then we need to refresh to see the changes. Okay. So demo. So name, they're the same. IDs are different. Type radio 4. Label 4. for value, we might have to have something for okay. That is not right. So we need, that means I made the same mistake somewhere else. Value. Why is it? To show you, this is actually me thinking. You do have to think. I really don't know why the label. So label 4 and the ID is the same. Or is it? This is where things kind of get confusing. So name is the same. That's really interesting that it's doing that. Because you have the 4, the equal, there, it's in quotes. Let's try to mimic the example. So label, the ID is a HTML, CSS. The name is fave language. The label HTML. Now let's see if we can do a comparison, a one-to-one comparison. So let's see how close we are. So radio, HTML, fave language. That's HTML in uppercase. ID and 4 should be the same. Four. No. ID. So let's check her work. So type radio, ID, HTML, name fave language, value equals, so input. So what we need to do, we need a value equals HTML. So we go back. So where do we put oh, I am not being consistent with my quotation standards, but that's okay. This is for demonstration purposes. There we go, HTML, HTML. So let's test. We're getting on the right path. So checked. Okay, checked will be let's figure out checked. I think this is where we do post. I really don't know. I had to stop recording there for a minute. Okay, so we're trying to solve a problem about getting the previously selected value to be repopulated. So when you go into here, that's not checked. That's checked. So you want to have similar behavior. So what we need to do is we need to do a little bit of debugging. How about let's see what happens, just to see what happens. My next step will be to insert some console log statements to figure out what's going on, or a dump and die. Let's try it out. Ooh. All right. Let's let's find something else. What other pieces of information can we do? Then we will have to figure out what the contents are of post. Okay. What we're going to do is let's do a PHP helper CL post. In case that's end up being a multi-line type of deal. So what we want to do is go in here, go in the console, and see what the contents are. Fave language. It is. That was correct. Okay, hold on. Let's bring back the no, that's not form helper. Helper. And now post, as in Post Malone. CSS. Something is weird going on here. CSS. That is really interesting. There's that is exactly the same. Let's figure out the actual contents of this tag. So, checked. All right. Somehow we need to figure out how to set that back to false. and I don't know what would be the correct answer. Let's see here. We might need to do some. Okay. If. Okay. Checked equals. Okay. If console. If equals HTML. That would have to be some kind of function to get the rect. Okay. This is very crude. Equals so there's going to be a function like something like this does the whatever the logic in the controller. So we are just doing a proof of concept. So 1, 2. Excuse me. Oh, okay. If we can probably do an if statement. Else probably. So it kind of got like simulating form validation. So obviously, you're going to get some kind of information from post. Do something with in your controller or model. Get remember be checked. So let's search for where this is located. So it'll be part of your here will be part of the register controller. So we need to figure out when value is checked, do something similar to what we're doing here to verify that the correct group gets rechecked. This is just a crude example to show that, hey, we can actually control what gets selected. So, not pretty, but this is a good test for sandboxing. And I believe that's all I got. This is actually a good test. I'm happy that of how I done this. There's probably things I can improve upon. Definitely we'll need to come up with some comments. And this is in Form Helper class. So what I have done is I have created like to simulate what you would see from Laravel. You can go into Core Form Helper, and I've already made a little bit some changes, so I need to update some of this stuff here. But I have basically the function name, description, and some notes, parameters, the type, and the return. What's returning and the type that's returning. So this is just one piece of the MVC framework that I've created to make it look officialish. So that is it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.